Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about Wonder Woman box office. All right, so Wonder Woman box office dropped this morning. We now know what happened this weekend, and it's definitely bad news. It is not good news. So here's what happened. Wonder Woman made $100 million domestic this weekend. It made $123 foreign for a total of $223 million. We're going to talk about the domestic numbers from now on, the $100 million open. And it is a very, very bad, it is bad news, without a doubt. No one, not Patty Jenkins, not the fans of Wonder Woman, not DC, was hoping for this outcome. And the reason why is it is where Wonder Woman falls. By the way, this is all spoiler-free, and primarily I'm going to be talking about the box office numbers. So, here's the issue. DC Cinematic Universe. So the DC Cinematic Universe, as it stands right now, is Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and, Suicide Squad, and now Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is the lowest opening weekend for any of the DC movies, which honestly is shocking to me. So I'm just going to give the numbers real quick. So it's Steel Squad versus. So Man of Steel made $116 million on its opening, $16 million more than Wonder Woman. Suicide Squad made $133 million. $33 million more than Wonder Woman. And Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice made a total of $166 million on its opening weekend, $66 million more than Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is now the worst commercially performing DC Cinematic Universe movie. Now, this is shocking, and it has bad implications. Okay, all this sounds bad, so I'm going to throw in some good stuff here. Just here's what the movie did achieve, and then I'm going to talk about the problems that came up. So here's some things that nobody can take away from DC. In my opinion, DC has made the first female superhero movie. Period. End of sentence. That is an accomplishment. No one can take that away from them. That's theirs, right? The other thing is, I think now that we're on the other side of it, fans and critics have seen it. Everyone there seems to be a consensus that this was a good movie. I'm in 100% agreement with that consensus. I saw it. So the Garibay family did what they could this weekend. I went to see this with my college-age son Xavier and my college-age daughter Autumn. Now it's interesting. That's half the Garibay family. Half did not go. And the reason why is it's getting to be summertime season, and there were just other events that were scheduled for the family, right? And the rest of the family was like, we're going to go do these other events. We're not going to prioritize Wonder Woman over these other events, which is interesting. And honestly, I think that's what happened with a lot of America. I think a lot of fans of Wonder Woman. A lot of fans of Wonder Woman said, I'll see it sometime, and just did not prioritize seeing it this weekend, or are simply going to wait for it to drop on Netflix, which is shocking and sad and very, very bad. I just want to say, this is so bad. Like, these numbers are bad. This is very, very bad news. And the reason why I'm saying this too is I think today a lot of people are going to say a lot of things about these numbers. I think there's going to be a lot of spin on them, and there's a lot of reasons why people wanted these numbers to be good. There was a lot at stake with this film. I think three things that were at stake was female-led film, female superhero movie, female director. Like all three of those things, Hollywood was saying, okay, I'm ready, show me, right? And I think the biggest thing is it's almost problematic that Wonder Woman is so good artistically, right? Wonder Woman was amazing from visual effects, story-wise, conversion, all of these are better than any. It is by far the best crafted DC Cinematic Universe film without a doubt. I mean, without a doubt. Like, one of the things that blew me away was the conversion of Diana, from comic book to film, in my opinion, is the best conversion of any comic book character in history, without a doubt, right? And here's why. They did something I haven't seen. They preserved all the things that were cool about her in the comic books, and then the content that they added for the movie actually makes her a cooler, literally stronger character. That is extremely rare. Normally when Hollywood brings its nonsense to a superhero character, it doesn't help. But here it did. It really did. And it's almost completely faithful to the comic book version, with a few exceptions to it, and those few exceptions are really strong. It's really well written, which makes it even worse in that, what do you do when a studio takes the time to get the right actors, takes the time to get a female director, takes the time to get great writers, takes the time to do all of the visual effects, and then the movie just doesn't perform. It didn't perform. It is the last DC Cinematic Universe film commercially. I mean, dead last. And the biggest problem is every single one of the DC movies has been plagued with controversy over what happened. Why were they as bad as they were? And here is the best crafted DC Cinematic Universe movie, and it did commercially the worst. And in my opinion, the reason for that is fans of female superhero movies have now declared how they intend to watch these movies. And that declaration is, we'll come out in the numbers that exist, which is low, and the rest of us will come whenever we want to, right? And that's a problem, because Hollywood is a data-driven business, and they're going to see this, and it's not going to turn out well, I don't think. Now, I will say this. I think Wonder Woman is protected in that there's so much at stake here for the DCEU, for the DC Cinematic Universe, that they're absolutely just going to get... Wonder Woman's absolutely going to get a sequel, in my opinion. But this is very, very problematic and very sad, and... I'm sorry I took this long to say this, but here's the other issue. What I keep saying, this is bad. Well, here's why it's bad, right? $1 billion and $2 billion, okay? There has not been a single DC Cinematic Universe movie, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, and now Wonder Woman. None of them have made $1 billion. $1 billion should be a layup now for a superhero movie. For a big budget superhero movie, that's a layup. You got to be able to do $1 billion, and if you don't, it means you're getting in the way of your own films. And the reason why is, man, oh man, is Marvel putting up $1 billion films, like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. They are making it look like a layup, and actually that's the other issue is, Wonder Woman was going to take its swing at $1 billion. $1 billion. It would be the first DC movie to make $1 billion. Wonder Woman is absolutely not going to make $1 billion now. And the reason why is, none of the DC cinematic movies made $1 billion, and they had stronger openings than this one, right? So it's not going to make $1 billion. And what's really even sadder is, DC was struggling to get to notch up a $1 billion movie. And right now, Marvel is struggling to make a $2 billion superhero movie. They have more $1 billion superhero movies than I can even remember. It's a ridiculously high number, right? I think everything but Ant-Man generally, so they do a lot of $1 billion superhero movies. There are only three $2 billion movies in the entire history of the world, and two of them belong to James Cameron, Titanic and Avatar, and then the other one is The Force Awakens, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So that's just it. Wonder Woman just solidified that DC and Marvel are still playing in two different leagues, and and this is very, very bad news overall for fans of female superhero movies, fans of Wonder Woman, fans of the DC Cinematic Universe. These are bad numbers, bad numbers. $100 million opening. The other issue is, and so I watch the box office numbers the way most people watch football scores, right? And I wake up on Monday morning, I'm like, yeah, what's the box office numbers? I want to see them. And here's the issue. Wonder Woman made $100,505,000. Okay, that's a very problematic number because many times these are estimates, right? And what happens is when the actuals come in, it might drop a couple million, right? It almost never goes up, right? So now there's even the debate of whether Wonder Woman even cracked 3 digits. Right? Did it come in at 98 or 99 million, really? And the reporter and the number of reporters are being kind. This is very, very bad, and it makes me sad. And I feel there are really distinct lessons to learn. Right? So I'm an anime fan, and I want to see the anime live action revolution happen. So I went to see Ghost in the Shell. I'm a fan of female-led action films. So I went to see Ghost in the Shell, and I saw it on opening weekend. And that's just it, is I think what we're seeing right here, right now, is that advocate movies that are, that are relying on, I really don't think Wonder Woman is an advocate movie. That's unfair to say. Wonder Woman's been around forever. She is a solid, dyed-in-the-wool superhero. Her bona fides are unquestionable. Like she is part of the DC Trinity. That's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. She's and this is the best DC has. They really put it out there. To really make this work, and it did. People just did not show up, and that is a serious problem. And it's just kind of a sad day. And wanted to take the time to talk about the numbers, get the numbers out there, and because that's the other issue is now there's a whole bunch of questions that people were holding their breath to determine what are we going to do with the DC Cinematic Universe, and now that question's still in the air. It's still in the air. And the trajectory right now for the DC Cinematic Universe commercially is downward, artistically is upward. So, yeah, I'm sorry this one was a little bit of a downer, everybody. I was really curious what was going to happen with these films, and I think one of the biggest lessons is if you're a movie fan and there's a movie you care about, you need to see it on open weekend. You need to go out and show Hollywood what matters to you. And this weekend, that's the problem. People showed Hollywood what they think of movies like Wonder Woman, and that's not a great message. That is not a message that anybody was hoping to hear. Take care.